Hello, everybody. Welcome to the channel if you're new, and welcome back if you're already a subscriber. We are back at it. I am back at trying to shoot for 2 videos a week, so we're going to see how that gets on. So today, these are my week 5 12x12 layouts. I don't always have weekly layouts that fit into my project life, but this was definitely one of those weeks, and I was obsessed. So Jeff and I hosted Jeff is my boyfriend, by the way. Jeff and I hosted an event at a family property that he's staying at while we wait to build, all that jazz. So, yeah, it was like the first event that we'd really all gotten everyone together for the year for sure. And really since we'd seen everybody like together like that since probably before October of last year. So it was really nice to get together. But, and I didn't even really think about this until I was talking to somebody about it at work the other day, that I really did not document like the food side of it. And that's normally a huge thing. And obviously it was huge because we did it kind of like potluck style and brought a bunch of stuff. But it became all about the kids. I took so many photos of the kids. We got so many photos. They're just at really great ages right now. They really are. It's like before, like we're starting to bubble into like more adult conversations, and we're definitely like approaching like crushes and things like that. But it was just like the perfect, like, they were manic, running around, enjoying the outdoors, not trying to be on iPads or tablets or whatever. And it was just good. It was really good, clean, fun. So I ended up, I didn't take these photos. One of the dads did, of them playing on this fence, this like farm style metal fence. They were just being silly kids and enjoying themselves. And then the second spread you're going to see is them playing on the stairs. Both very safe things for children to be playing on, clearly. But we were just letting them be kids and just trying to chill out a little bit and let them enjoy childhood a little bit. It's fleeting, don't you know? So anywho, I am using pieces from Maggie Holmes' Marigold collection. Oh my gosh, totally not Marigold. It is Magical Forest. I have been hoarding this collection since I think I got it. I think I've used a couple pieces here and there, but I originally bought it to document older photos of my baby cousins. That's Banks making an appearance, of course. I can't have a video without her, it seems. But anyways, so I had been kind of hoarding it, and because I started doing Project Life again this year, and not really again, but just deciding that I was going to do current. And I just want to just take a second to talk about how amazing that journey has been. I do typically document photos from like 2015, because that's when I started, and I was really committed to continuing like in a chronological state. But I really knew towards the end of last year that I wanted to start documenting more in real time. One, so that I could get those memories down for what they were worth. And also, I think that documenting past events does have some therapeutic value. I can 100% attest to that. But I 100% think that this documenting in real time had more therapeutic value than I thought it was going to. So if you're struggling with how to start, where to start, please drop me a comment down below. Wow, I all of a sudden can't talk. Sorry about that. I didn't end up using any of this cut apart. Oh, yes, I did. I did end up using the all play all day, but I really didn't need to cut that much apart. For that. Anywho, if you have any questions about when to start, how to start, all that, I would love to help you guys out. If you guys want a video for it or something like that, or just basically if you have questions, drop them down below anytime, and it doesn't matter what they are. If I don't have the answer, I'll tell you I don't have the answer. But just to say, like, I am really enjoying the process of documenting more in real time. And then if time permits or I need a break or whatever, I do have older photos that I can go directly to. I actually have several time periods running right now, so that's entertaining as well. But yeah, I happened to notice that I really didn't talk about the food at all, which was wonderful. We just really enjoyed the company. I think that's been an entertaining thing about documenting again is what you remember to document and what. Like, it was the first time I finally used my small crock pot that my grandmother got me when I moved into my first apartment with my fiance at the time. And that was back in like 2013. So that sucker's been sitting under my counter forever. And that was just hilarious that I finally got to use it and didn't even document anything about it. And I was just like making the biggest deal out of it. So these are some stickers from the Maggie Holmes journal book. I did think the colors definitely went. I wasn't super particular that they weren't from Magical Forest, and I don't really have that much of Magical Forest to begin with, so I knew I wanted to kind of be careful with it. So I am still a little bit hoarding. I really did want to use the Stay Little Forever stickers somehow, some way, and they just weren't working. You'll see me play around a lot with that big giant rainbow. I do struggle with 12 by 12 sometimes. I had actually, so I am filming this, or not filming this. I filmed this on Sunday, so it's uploading Wednesday. So you're watching it now. I'm doing the voiceover the day before, very last minute. That's just kind of part of getting caught back up, is trying to like just get back on the horse, basically. But I had done some pocket pages before. So if you're struggling with 12 by 12 layouts, I highly suggest trying like a smaller format. So whether that's doing a couple pocket pages or whether that's doing maybe like a smaller spread in a notebook, I think for a really long time, I would do like a Hobonichi type spread or something like that, and then kind of go into pocket pages. Another thing I've been doing to kind of like help get those creative juices flowing is prepping my pages. So kind of sitting there with the cards and the photos and getting that going, and then once I've done maybe a layout or two of that, because I always like, this is week 5 and what are we on in like real time? I think 11 or 12, something like that. I'm definitely not going to hunt down my planner to figure that out right now. But basically, you know, as documenters, we're always kind of behind. So there should be some in your stash, you know, that you can work on, or maybe some older photos that you've been wanting to document that you might be able to play with. Anywho, so I have been using the prep work as a way to just kind of get started, get my brain going, and then I will do a couple pocket pages maybe, and then move into 12 by 12 layouts. And it just kind of, you'll notice like it goes a lot faster. Plus, a lot of people may, you know, I think doing the time lapse of things gives an unrealistic expectation. I know I've talked about that before as well, that it gives this expectation that it really does happen that fast, and that is the biggest lie I've ever heard in my life. Most of my layouts, I don't care if they're pocket pages or 12 by 12 layouts, they probably take about an hour and 30 from start to finish, because I have analysis paralysis, or paralysis of analysis, however you say it. And I'm very OCD. So I have a lot of trouble mixing collections sometimes. I have a lot of trouble making sure something flows. And I mean, whether it flows to you is irrelevant, I guess, but it has to like work for me. And I get really wrapped up in it sometimes, and some spreads really just put me off. So like this spread, I was really struggling with, because I loved that like washi corner that I made.
I'm really trying to use more of my washi. I have so much of it, you guys. It's not okay. It's not okay how much washi I have. I need to actually get a new storage container for some, and decide how or if I'm going to separate it, which is problematic too. Anyways, I do hope, side note entirely, I do want to do some organization videos later this year and really get into that. I'm getting an IKEA Calais, around like the beginning of April is the plan, because that's my next, Friday off. So I'm hoping to go out there on the 1st and get that. And so there will be some documenting videos of that, hopefully. No promises of how that process is going to turn out. I might try to vlog. I don't know. I don't even know. That's setting myself up for some craziness. Let me know if you guys would be interested in that. I've never done anything like that for the channel. So yeah, let me know if that tickles your taste buds. But yeah, I was really struggling with that rainbow washi and trying to make that work. And thank God for that journal sticker book, because it saved me more than one time during this spread. So because of that big rainbow sticker was really the only thing. And it was too big, but the cardstock sticker didn't look right, and I don't know. It didn't flow, so ultimately it came off all the way around. This pack of enamel dots is my favorite pack of enamel dots I think I've ever had, and I am so sad because I can find every waffle flower set except for this one. I've been all over the internet. I think I finally found one really random questionable site to get them from. So I think I'm going to order some colors from the Nuvo dots that are similar. So let me know if you've tried Nuvo dots, what your experience has been with them, because I'm really on the fence. I've heard good and I've heard bad. So I would just be really curious. I think I may just try them and then still order the backup packs and just let it be what it's going to be. I just feel like that's the most accurate depiction of my color palette that I love in my everyday life. So it obviously is going to show up in my clothes or my spreads to complement, especially that, like, I don't even know what to call it. That, like, it's kind of like a pinky brown mauve-y color. Oh, here we go with that freaking... I think I don't even rip it off really until the end. And, I mean, it's cute. Like, looking at it now, like, off... Like, not looking at it in real time. There we go. Again, my words this morning. I'm filming... I just need to stop. I really need to stop. Definitely struggling as I get ready today. I tried to use my tiny attacher in a couple spots too to just create texture, and it was really comical. Like, this is me trying to work it out, but it just didn't work. I couldn't get the stapler in far enough. Could I have probably used different staplers? Sure, I'm sure I could have. But that's when I went to my go-to little stitched outline, which shows up then in a couple more places. I actually used that sticker page and kind of create some stickers with little stitch borders. And I think that actually turned out really, really cute. I was really proud of that. But I did use a lot of the stickers out of that sticker book. Another thing I really haven't talked about with the spreads from this week entirely was I am still using my February stash kit. So if you haven't checked that out, I did make a February stash kit. I just pulled out everything that I could think of. Like, I have a whole drawer of like Valentine's themed things, even though I am not into Valentine's Day from the commercial standpoint. I did figure out that I am obsessed with it because of all of the pink. I live in Georgia, and I was actually raised in Macon, and Macon is known for cherry blossoms. So, I mean, since I was a little girl, February and March mean cherry blossom and cherry blossom festival and everything kind of starting to bloom because it's warm enough here some days. But
it's the fact that everything is turning pink. And I do love the softness of it. I do love it just signals that spring is coming and the promise of warmer days. And it's just exciting. It really has nothing to do with roses or chocolate or food. And I love food, but, it's just wild that every year I get so excited for Valentine's stuff to come out. And I have just realized this year, it took me 30 years to figure it out, that I'm just obsessed with the pink and the floral and all the things that it means are coming. I guess that's like some people's version of fall too, because I do get like that in the fall, like as things start to get cool and you can smell crispness in the air. It's about getting outdoors again. So I really think that that's where my love of pink comes from, but that's relevant. So moving on. This is how I ended up solving my rainbow drama, was making another little cluster in this bottom corner just to wrap up that miniature rant of how that went, to solve the little, because I didn't have rainbow anywhere else on that spread. I was like, where the heck? Like, I can't just have this like random cluster. And it really, because it's washi tape, I needed it to show up really well. And that was the only place I could do it. And I didn't want to cover up the Let's Play. You'll see me fuss with that kind of throughout the whole spread of trying not to cover up the Let's Play, because that's what it was all about. They were just playing and I wanted to focus on that. But if you do want to check out the February kit, wow, I'm bouncing all over today. I mean, welcome to the normal life rant style. If you're new, I'm definitely a ranter. I'm a side storyer. It's just kind of how I roll. That's just the way I am. So there we are with that. But that is pretty much that spread all done, I think. Yeah, we're moving into the second one. But just to wrap up that conversation about the February kit, I can post the link down below. And my goal was to just pull things from that stash. Obviously, these papers were not in it. When it comes to 12 by 12 layouts, I do let the photos do the talking. It is very rare. I don't think I've ever, I take that back. Okay, up until now, I have never really let a paper dictate future photos. However, when I was doing these layouts, I found a really pretty paper that had these beautiful brush strokes on it and numbers. And I was like, what the heck am I going to do with this? And originally, I was going to use it for my mom's birthday, but it really didn't jive. And then I got to thinking it would work for mine though, because I could kind of plan accordingly. And I was waffling on what to wear. And then when I saw the layout, I was like, perfect. I know exactly what I'm going to wear now so that it matches these colors. And I've never done that. Hand to God, never done that before. And I'm really excited to see how that turns out. So you guys are going to have to wait a little while because my birthday literally just happened yesterday. So I'm not caught up yet. That video will probably post sometime I'm going to guess May at the rate that I'm going. And the rate that everything is flowing. But I do want to talk about a couple items that got used out of my stash. And I will go ahead and put the link for my pocket pages down below as well, since those released on Sunday. So as far as things from the kit, I don't know that anything from that previous layout got used, if I'm thinking about it and being completely honest. Nothing from that first spread that I can remember got used. And that was just kind of the way of it. I don't get too uppity if that happens. I'm also about to try to fix a sticker on something. So if you heard a weird crinkle, that was that. So yeah, on this one, however, I did pull from my stash. So that kind of Swiss dot mustard, it's the mustard color paper, and it has a really tiny white Swiss dot on it. That was from a paper pad that I threw in there. All of those lovely ephemera pieces and
embellishments off to the top right are actually from the kit, and they just kind of went with the color scheme, so I pulled them out. From that, I only end up using the wood veneer stars. They've been in my stash for a really long time, and I really wanted to use them, and I thought that would be such a cute little element with all of the houses and the wood grain, and it would stick up different than an enamel dot would. So I was really happy with how that turned out, and I did get a couple used for that. Another thing that I used from the stash was the title that I end up using at the bottom, which won't be until like close to the end. And it's just going to be best day ever. And it was from a thicker set that I snuck in there because it was like a pretty light pink. All of the other stuff from this page are mostly from the Marigold collection. So this is the kids playing on the stairs. So some photos are blurry and they're dark. I didn't edit them. Like, I brightened, I think, some of them. But yeah, they're not the best photos in the world. Neither the ones outside are better because I didn't take those. That's probably why. But basically, I don't try to get too hung up on things like that. Take the blurry photo, document the blurry photo. It's okay. Like, literally, you're trying to ask, 5 kids to hold still. That's impossible. Like, in some of them, eyes are closed, mouths are open. Like, it's just manic. But I felt like that really encompassed what it was. Everybody having a good time. It wasn't posturing. It wasn't posing. It was just the genuine candidness of it all that I loved. And again, these moments are fleeting. These kids are gonna, as they start to get older in the world that we're kind of in right now, like, tablets and friends are going to take over, and it's coming so soon, and I can feel it. And I've had little nephews before, and I can just feel it in the air that this is that special time, and I don't want to waste it. And I don't want to miss it. So I really am cherishing every really strange question, every really strange conversation, and just, the value in it is just, it's priceless. But most of the stuff like the From the Heart and all of these lovely floral pieces I'm playing with are from that Marigold collection. That was just a black doily I had in my stash, just to give it a little textural element. I do love to have lots of different textures. I was one of those kids that played with the books where you like pull things out and there's like fuzzy patches and rough patches and cards and things. And I do love to do that style as well when I'm making altar books for the shop and stuff like that. So that's just wild. I still do that in every form of crafting because that's just something I love. It's like, what am I doing? Oh, so my backpack was down in the car, which has my jelly roller in it that I would normally use to do like a stitched white border. But the Sharpie pen works really well on mixed media. And so I just grabbed that. I guess I didn't shake it good enough and mix everything up, and I hadn't used it in a while. So we had to go over that stitch border a couple times in a couple places, because if you look, you can see it's not so crisp white everywhere around the border. But it looks fine now that it's all done. But I lost my whole train of thought. Gracious me. This is just me sticking the doily down and getting my placement right. I normally, sometimes I've been known to like set things up before and then take a picture, but I didn't do that this time just because I wanted to keep filming and keep everything going. And I think it turned out really like close to spot on of how I had originally done it. I do love these really giant hearts, but it does make things really difficult sometimes. I'm just using a couple sticky dots to bump that up. I am looking into, so my boyfriend was kind enough to give me a scrapbook.com card. And so I think I'm going to get those Nuvo dots. So definitely let me know your thoughts. And just some supplies that aren't as readily available, so that I haven't been able to find in local craft shops. I want to get some double-sided foam adhesive sheets so that when I'm doing the larger photos like this, it's not using up my little tiny dots. because I do bump those up, and it would be just nice to have a little bit more support. So I'm getting those and just a couple extra, like, what's my thought? Wow. I'm so sorry, guys. This is just a struggle bus morning. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm not caffeinated enough. I don't know. I didn't birthday that hard. So just getting some like basic tools and maintenance things, like the things that you're like, oh, I really don't want to buy this. I want to buy the pretty things. So just tools and refills and things like that with the card. So definitely let me know your thoughts on enamel dots or any other brands that you may know of that do the adhesive, the rubber, or the foam adhesive that is double-sided, because I do know some that are just one-sided that people use pretty regularly. I've heard about that. But I was trying to make that remember this sticker work because I thought, oh my gosh, that's so perfect. However, it was just so bright white. I mean, just absurdly bright white. And I just couldn't, no matter how hard I tried. So it just went right back on the sticker sheet. I was really excited, and you'll see here in a little bit that I did manage to pull out my washi again. The washi I used was from the Flourish collection. I don't have the washi that matches this collection. It just didn't speak to me the same. Normally, I am kind of a stickler that I buy everything from the collection. Or all the same matching parts and pieces. That's just my OCD at its finest, but that just didn't happen. I did use some more of my sticky dots, which are just from, they're the pretty generic ones I think that you can get at Joann's. I'll drop them down below, but I think it is like it's Sticky Thumb that is the brand, and I have some red line tape from them as well that I really like, that I used on some rubber adhesive or rubber pieces, which I heard was pretty much the easiest way to put them on. And the most reliable. I heard a lot of people having issues with that too. But I bumped a couple of those cardstock flowers up because they were glossy. And I just wanted them to stand out from the cardstock ones. And then just kind of flecking around some enamel dots from some different collections is going to happen after I put this title on. It does take me a while, and I do have the Thickers guide, but because that photo was bumped up, I was really nervous to try that method. I did want to use some of the puffy, not puffy. Oh yeah, they are the little puffy stickers, but they just didn't work. And so I did opt to go with the enamel dots and my go-to of the star, my little punch stars. I just have like a Fiskars punch. I have a heart one and I have a star one. And sometimes if I just need 5 minutes to just do something and just relax for a second, I just grab my punch and one of my glitter cardstock sheets, and it's like a stress ball, I guess. And I just go to town on that, and it's just prep work for me. I do use a lot of prep work as wind down time. But yeah. So we're kind of closing in towards the end of this video. I don't think we have too much longer left. So I'm going to talk about a couple housekeeping things that are going on. So this coming Sunday, we're going to have my April Plan With Me video up. And then typically the planning videos go back to back, but because of the way the week is running, I think I've said this before, that may not happen. Just so that I'm not on such a tight timeline, but we'll see, because the flip doesn't normally take me that long. So just side note, it may or may not happen that way, but we've got some planner videos coming up, and then we're going to start working into week 6. I am going to start finally getting some of my one little word stuff done. So if you're a one little word person, drop me a comment down below, and also let me know what your one little word is. And if it's your first time, because it is my first time going through that, and I've done some like little bits of each project or each prompt, but I haven't completed any of them. So I really want to take some time to wrap that up and complete it. Another side note, if you are watching this before the 26th, I think that's our date. And I'll put it down in the description, but double check her Instagram and stuff like that. Inky Quill, which is Adele Toomey, is doing a live stream this weekend, so I'll be on that on Saturday. I think if you're
this is what I do know. If you are East Coast, America, US, whatever, if you're East Coast American time, it's 3:30 on Saturday. So just a side note there. And then we're just going to kind of keep rolling with the Project Life videos. I do know Week in the Life is going to happen, I think, in June. But I think the collection with Allie Edwards is going live at the end of the month. So I'm going to start kind of destashing my Day in the Life kit and get ready for Week in the Life. By the way, side note really quick on the stamp saga, if you're a subscriber and you have been following that drama, I don't know if this makes me feel better or worse, but apparently the company, according to them, they never shipped them. I ended up getting a refund recently and I was like, what is this? And it just happened to have the reference number from that order. And they were like, yeah, we just found out that we never sent them. And so I don't know what to think anymore now. That did I lose them? Because I would love to think that if I didn't get them in an order, I would have reached out to them. And that was months ago. So I don't know. It's just a weird plot twist in the whole stamp saga. And like I said, if you're a subscriber or you've heard me talk about it in the videos earlier, then you know I was like so distraught thinking I'd lost these stamps. So it's a really bizarre twist. But nevertheless, we carry on. If you are interested in my day in the life journey, those videos are over on the channel as well. I built a kit. I have not documented yet. If you check out my Instagram, you can see the digital prep work and where I landed at the end of the day, more or less, with the journaling and how all that landed. Everything is printed, everything is ready to go, just nothing is embellished. So I'm hoping that that makes that process a little bit easier. But yeah, I am planning to continue in chronological, so I'm not sure when that video would go up. If you're interested in me maybe doing it ahead of schedule, let me know, and we'll see if that sways me doing it early, since everything is pretty ready for that one. A lot of the work is done because I did journal in real time and I did do a lot of printed journaling on those. So while I've been fussing about with all of the embellishments, I hope you enjoyed listening to some housekeeping things. Again, if you have any questions, please drop them down below. I'm happy to answer. If you have any particular requests for videos, let me know. It's always great to kind of have, the flexibility to plan these videos around what else is going on and slip in bonus videos. So thank you guys so much for all of the support. I feel like the channel is growing, and it's not growing at like warp speed. It's just at a perfect pace. And again, I'm not in it for money or monetization. I'm just in it for the community and enjoying the time with you guys and just holding myself accountable to documenting. So I hope that this is helping you guys out too, and you guys are enjoying them, I think. So anyways, other than that, until next week, happy crafting. I'm going to let you guys enjoy a little bit of music and then my lovely slow pan over these spreads so that you guys can take a look at that. But thanks so much for all of the support again. I really appreciate it, and happy crafting and happy planning. We got some planning videos coming up. Bye guys.